Second Amendment. What should we take more steps? Is too much done? What do we do to stop school shootings?
Right. So, it's interesting you bring that up because two individuals were arrested here recently for planning a Columbine-style shooting of the school. And it was a 14 and a 13 or 14 and 15-year-old, which, it's tragic to see that kind of mentality at such a young age. But the solution is not getting rid of guns. I'm personally a big Second Amendment guy. I'm all for constitutional carry. I don't think we should be paying a fine for a right that we already own. To carry a firearm in our car or on our person, that makes no sense. So I'm a big proponent of actual constitutional carry, not just permitless carry. I should be own type of firearm I want to own and be able to do so based off of this Second Amendment that's guaranteed to us, and based off of the section in our own state constitution that gives us the right to do so. So I think what's happening right now is just an infringement on our rights already. Now, how do we stop school shootings? Well, it's a complex problem, which I think ultimately goes down to what messaging have we seen recently that degenerates or degrades lives? What kind of messaging have we heard of that doesn't promote that that our lives actually matter? And what we're seeing is we're teaching our kids that everything matters based on the color of your skin. Everything matters based off of the religion you're in. And you shouldn't respect other people if they don't believe the same way you do. And that kind of messaging, which is being pushed in schools, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise, it's very much being pushed in schools here in Alabama. That kind of messaging is just dividing us even more and causing more animosity, more anger, more hatred, and not bringing us into unity as we should be, like we mentioned earlier. All different kinds of people, but all together in one. And I think ultimately that's where the solution lies. The solution lies with good parenting. The solution lies with fixing this issue of, just because I'm white doesn't mean I'm oppressing you, and just because you're black doesn't mean you're a victim. And just because, the roles were reversed, that is not a reality. Ethnicity and the skin color and, what race you are or how you identify, if you identify as a male or female, I really couldn't care less. You're a person and I value you as a person. And so I don't believe you should die. That seems a pretty base fact that we should all kind of be under the same umbrella of, but it doesn't seem that's the case. And I think ultimately that's where your solution lies. Well, here in my county, I have to pay $20 a year. So $20 a year to this local sheriff. And, they just passed the lifetime carry bill, which a certain individual who happens to be the current representative of District 38 voted for, which allows you to buy a lifetime carry permit for $500. Granted, over the course of that would end up being 5 years, it would pay for it, right, in my county. Well, here's another problem that gets on top of that. They created another database. A database that specifically would prohibit people that are on this database from buying or carrying a firearm. And as we've seen with the no-fly list, even with the National Criminal Database, when you go and buy it, you can get, I think the last statistic I heard was somewhere between 80 and 90% of those that get flagged on that system are incorrect flags. They're false flags. So, when you're talking about preventing someone from doing something that's constitutionally protected, and you're creating another database that could potentially be rife with incorrect information or similar names or whatever it may be, that could end up ultimately getting an officer or even a civilian in killed or injured, because you're talking about a situation where an officer may see that, this is a murderer or somebody that has this firearm, and he pulls his weapon on him, and he mistakes a wallet that the guy has his hand for the weapon, and he ends up shooting him, and stuff like that's happened before. So we're causing more problems than we're solving. And ultimately, if we just got that mentality of just because someone has a weapon means that they're evil, really is, it's being pushed, of course, and we know why and so forth. But that's the way we need to go.